Hello everybody and welcome to another video, vlog, whatever. It's an unboxing day. Look at this. Super excited because I have finally got my hands on a Rhino ROV slider. This little guy has taken months to get here in the UK and I nearly didn't get it at all, and I'll tell you why. When this thing arrived, after much delay, after much recall, all the kind of crap that happened in getting this thing actually shipped from Rhino direct in the US, when it finally arrived today, courtesy of DHL, there was some import duty to pay. Now typically in the UK you have to pay VAT on products. I thought this had already been taken care of when I'd ordered the product, but no, in the US they just sell you the product for the price and it's susceptible to any type of import duty. And guess what? I had to pay £90 to get this thing in my hand, but I didn't have £90 on me. Now the DHL driver said you can pay by check or you can pay by cash, and I don't have a checkbook anymore and I didn't have 90 quid in cash on me to get this thing in my hand. So the DHL driver, all testament to him, I got in his van, big yellow DHL van, and he drove me to the cash machine so I could get the money out, pay him, pay the input duty and get this thing finally in my hand. So a great story, and thank you very much to DHL. I couldn't remember your name, Mr. Driver, but you were a top man for actually letting me get this thing today. So it arrived, here it is. Enough about the babble, sorry about the planes, it's super hot here. Let's get this unboxed, let's take a look and let's see if it works. Let's cue the music. So as you can probably tell, a lot of that footage was not actually taken in the UK, it was taken in Canada, which is where I was recently on a holiday. And the reason why I took this slider with me is I wanted to see whether it would be able to be used practically on a travel trip, not being too light and being very durable with regards to where I was filming. So overall, very happy, very pleased with the slider. It performed really well. The battery lasted quite a long time. I think I only charged it twice in the 2 weeks I was there. Now admittedly I wasn't using the slider every single day, but at least I was using it in a couple of different configurations, particularly with a lot of weight on the slider, which it really took well. I actually put the GH5 on there with the speed booster and the Sigma 18 to 35mm lens. Didn't really have a problem with that. And then for some of the shots I was using a smaller 16mm focal length lens. But overall it really worked. One thing I wanted to mention is that the slider needs to have the app with it. There's no manual controls on this. So if you don't have the app or your iPhone with you, there's not a lot you can do with it. So I'll show you the app in a second. So real quick, just want to show you the configuration. So to turn it on, you press and hold this button. This also is the meter to show you the status of the battery. In this case, it's full. And then when you see the flashing LED, you can basically pick up your iPhone. And I will just go to my ROV app. Here. It comes up with the old Connect. So there are two types of the ROV slider. I'm actually using the Traveler version, which comes with this ball head and has a thread to actually fit on the slider itself. I'll show you that in a sec. But let's talk about the configuration. So there are basically two configurations with this slider that you can set it up with. One of them is time-lapse, where you can actually connect your camera. If you have the traveler version of the ROV, there's a little connector on the side, so it allows you to connect your camera via a cable, not supplied. And that allows you then to have full control over the shutter speed, the amount of photographs you want to take, duration, and so on. I didn't really use that mode at all when I was on my holiday. I really used it in the live motion mode, which is the one where you can achieve that smooth motion and you can do a number of things with it. You can set it to automatic, so it will just cycle left and right, or you can just do it a one time, so it'll just pan from the left to the right hand side of the ROV. But a couple of things that I actually modified with it. So as I mentioned before, it comes with this handy ball head that actually screws into the plate. One thing I must point out as well is don't get your fingers trapped in this thing, because it's got quite a powerful motor and that's going to pinch you if you get your fingers caught while it's moving. I use the Arca Swiss plates for all my cameras, and the actual connector that comes with the ROV is really handy, so I just use to slide on and off, and then I can attach the camera to the top of this Arca Swiss plate. So that's a good thing to have. I don't have a camera available to stick on this for this particular review, because I'm using both cameras. I'm using one above me to film this downward shot here, and hopefully that comes out okay, and I'm using the little GH4 right now to film me in this crazy lit room that I have at the moment. It's a bit blinding actually, there's that many lights, but anyway, not to worry. So I've connected, and there's a couple of modes on this, so I'm going to set this up for live motion. You can set the duration here to, basically the minimum duration of the live motion is 15 seconds, the maximum duration is 55 seconds. Now that doesn't sound a lot, but it's pretty good for the travel of this slider. So I'm just going to set it up for a sort of a 30-second transition. I'm going to set it on auto, so 30 seconds for the duration, automatic, loop mode on, and then there's a ramp. And the ramp setting basically is how long does it take from a percentage perspective of time to reach full speed. In my case, I'm doing it 50%. Let's hit start, and as you can see, it's beautifully moving from left to right. It's not the most exciting demo in the world, let's be honest. It is a slider after all. But one thing I will tell you is that the slider is quite quiet, particularly when you have it on a slower time duration. I'm just going to stop it there, and I'm going to set the duration now to 50 seconds, and hopefully you may hear the difference. So 55 seconds maximum. I'm going to set it to 40% ramp. In fact, I'm not going to set it to 40% ramp. I'm going to set it to 100% so it reaches maximum speed straight away. And when you set the ramp to 100%, you actually can get 65 seconds out of this. So it's going to position it, and then it's going to start. Super quiet, super quiet. So it's running at 60 seconds at the moment duration, and I found it to be really smooth, even with a sort of heavier payload. It seems to be a really smooth little slider, so I was really impressed with it. It's quite strong. You can basically set it in different configurations. I had mine sort of tilted. You can basically be with the feet. You can run it flat, so you don't have to have the little feet on there. I had it at an angle like that at one point for one of the shots that you saw in the B-roll, and it took the weight of the camera really easily. So I was quite impressed with it overall. So it's a great little travel slider. The only downside to the whole thing is that it doesn't actually come with any carry case. So I had to modify a case that I already owned to be able to fit this thing in there. And that's a shame, because you want to keep it looking nice and clean and protect it from the elements. So overall, a great little slider that I'd highly recommend. Price is in the links below. I think because it was a Kickstarter, and it's I think only been sold directly from Rhino, as you saw in the beginning of the video, it took me a while to get it, and then I had to pay some duty in order for it to be in my hands. But that's the perils of living in the US, in the UK, when you're getting stuff shipped from the US. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please subscribe. Thanks again to everybody who has subscribed so far. I'll try and publish more regular content than I have been doing. I really enjoy making sort of these little videos and things, especially the tutorials and other reviews. If there's anything you'd like me to actually show, review, or do a video on, yeah, please let me know, because it might be interesting to try and take some of your ideas and turn them into a little video. Anyway, thanks a lot. Speak to you soon. Let's keep getting creative, helping each other out, and all that good stuff. See you soon.
We're just getting old.